What a performance from Hamzah Sheeraz. That was incredible.
So let's talk about it real quick before we listen to it. I'm here live real time. Matchroom is now down 0-3 with Hamzah Sheeraz stopping Austin Ammo Williams in round number 11 after dropping him in round number 10. I'm TstreeT Controversy in Fight View 360. Austin Ammo Williams stopped in round number 11. Dropped in round number 10. And yeah, you have now two homegrown fighters that Eddie Hearn has had since the beginning of their careers, Ray Ford and Austin Ammo Williams, both losing in back-to-back fights. One losing a close fight, 115-113, meaning Ray Ford losing his WBA title at 126. And this fight was a final eliminator for the WBC title at 160 pounds. And Ammo Williams goes and loses. You know, that power, man. That power. Hamzah Sheeraz is the big deal. Both of these fighters coming into this fight undefeated. Let me tell you about him. He's a very clean, accurate, tall, 6'3" fighter with a solid jab. I'm glad we got a tall fighter that actually loses their jab, and it's like a power punch, very stiff, and he's high accuracy. He's not a flurry puncher. He's not a brawler. He's a technician. I like this dude. I've watched him a few times over the years. He's been with Frank Warren for some time. I believe he's been with Frank Warren since the beginning of his career or very early on. He's also the captain of Matchroom and the first knockout of the night. Austin Ammo Williams gets knocked out. So the WBC situation at 160 has been weird. Jamal Charlo has finally been stripped. It took for him to get a DUI running from the cops for them to strip him. He's been holding on to that belt for years now without defending it. The boogeyman or the man in the division is this guy right here. By the way, we're waiting for them to not read the cards, but listen to the post-fight interviews. So Matchroom's getting spanked on this 5 vs. 5 card. If you don't know, the winning promoter gets $3 million, and the winning team, whether Matchroom or Frank Warren, Queensberry, get the split $3 million among the winners, $600,000 apiece. And it's a scoring system, so with a knockout, you get more points. I don't know how it works, but basically it's how it works. You get 0 for a draw, 1 for a decision, and I forgot how many points you get. Let's listen in. I forgot how many points you get for a... I'm waiting for them to listen to do the post-fight interviews. So now we have left... Well, actually, let me tell you what happened first. Willie Hutchinson got an upset win over Craig Richards. Craig Richards also been with Eddie Hearn since the beginning of his career. So Craig Richards been with Eddie Hearn since the beginning of his career. Ray Ford's been with Eddie Hearn since the beginning of his career. Austin Ammo Williams has been with Eddie Hearn since the beginning of his career. Launched pro with them, and now all of them have lost tonight. 0-3. Up next, we have Daniel Dubois versus Filip Hrgovic. Ooh, that's sexy. Then Dmitrii Bivol versus Malik Zinad. And then Ray Ford versus Deontay Wilder versus Zhang. Big bang. So Frank Warren cleaning up. This was the final eliminator. We're going to talk more about the rankings in a minute. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.
Better becoming as a guy here who's really on a roll at his peak right now, and he just knows how to use that range perfectly. A 6'3" middleweight is a hard man to beat.
And again, I was saying earlier on about the win for Nick Paul was a boost for British boxing. We shouldn't forget that although Joe Cordina lost last time out, he was beaten by Anthony Cacace, who now moves on as champion. And we've seen, I think, two very strong coming-out performances tonight from Willy Hutchinson and here Hamzah Sheeraz.
Yeah, it's Queensberry 6-0 and the UK 2, America 0 as well. Let's go into the ring and make it official with Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 45 seconds of round number 11. Our referee in charge, Mark Lyson, stops the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout, winner of the WBC Final Eliminator and still WBC Silver Middleweight Champion, Hamzah Sheeraz.
Shout out Hamzah.
Hamzah Sheeraz outlasted a scary moment earlier in the fight as Williams buckled his knees, but he came back.
Wait for a post-fight interview from the fighters. Anyway, yeah, you know, it was the jab. The defining punch was the jab and the uppercut. After around round 5 or so, Emma Williams he couldn't control it. So as I was saying about Hamzah Sheeraz, oh, wait, they're talking to him.
How happy are you with that performance?
First of all, I'd like to thank the Almighty Allah for the victory. I'd like to thank His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh. I'd like to thank Frank Rowan. And listen, the people of Riyadh, you have been absolutely amazing. I love every single one of you. Thank you very much.
It's a back and forth fight, it seemed, for the first couple of rounds. You took a few shots in that second round. When do you feel like you were able to get control?
A fight like this, I knew what I was going into. He's a puncher, he's fresh, he's young. So in the back of my mind, I knew it wasn't going to be a wipeout victory. I was hoping it was, but it wasn't. And me and Ricky had a great game plan going into the fight because he's a muscular lad. We thought we'd break him down in close. I know everyone's probably thinking, use your jab and whatnot. I use it, but at the same time, I had to slow him down.
Scored that first knockdown with something of a sweeping right hook. Was that the shot kind of you were looking for?
I was throwing the uppercut, but if you hear the corner come,
we did.
Ricky was saying right hook, right hook, right hook. Frank was saying it as well, and then boom, I swept it over and he was gone.
When he came out for that last round, could you tell already that he was hurt?
Yeah, because I knew the pace I set for this fight. I'm not normally someone who sets a high pace, but for this one I had to.
It's a world title eliminator. Do you think you proved tonight that you're a world level fighter?
If I'm not ready now, I don't think I'll ever be. Only by the will of Allah I'll win that, inshallah.
Congratulations, Tom. I'm going to turn to Frank Warren here. Frank, your captain came through for you. I feel like I'm talking to you a lot after some of these fights. How'd you feel about that performance?
Long may it continue. What I feel about it was an excellent performance, which is why we picked him as the captain. We knew he was in with a tough guy, and full credit to him, he come to fight, and it was a real good professional job that he did. He worked behind his jab. First couple of rounds, he had to settle down, but once he got his jab going, he started breaking him down with a jab, and as you see, at the end, he started showing the power. He's a tremendous puncher, and he sits in his arms. He's very difficult to hit. He's so rangy, and he delivered. He done what the captain said he would do, and inspired everyone. So the worst case scenario, it can be a draw if we lose the next two and one of our guys gets knocked out.
You feel like this man's ready for a world title shot?
That's what this fight was for. Final eliminator, that's what it's going to be. We want it, he wants it, and he has the potential, and I do believe he'll go all the way and win a world title.
Congratulations on that one, Frank. Eddie?
I'd just like to add, I'd like to say a massive thank you to Amo and his team. In the build-up, he's been definitely unique, which has brought some eyes to this fight, so a massive round of applause for Amo.
Appreciate that, Hamzah. Great performance, great effort by
Amo
Williams. Eddie, wish I was talking under better circumstances after some of these fights, but Amo gave it all he had, just kind of overwhelmed by a bigger, stronger guy.
Yeah, I'm so proud of him. He's got so much more to give to the sport. You know, he's still learning in terms of his preparation. What he showed tonight was unbelievable heart, and you can't buy that, you know. He hurt Hamzah early in the fight. He'll be back with behind him 100%. Incredible fights, but we're 6-0 down. If Hrgovic and Wilder win by stoppage, we draw the tournament. All down to the last two fights. Well done, both men. Another tremendous fight.
You've got a camera on you all throughout this. Like, what are you feeling in these moments?
You know what happens. The drama's coming. Hrgovic and Wilder by stoppage will tie this thing. 6 apiece.
All right, looking forward to that. Guys, throw it back to you.
All right, so let's talk a little bit more. So, it's safe to really put him in a division now as one of the top guys. And it's not a very strong division. For example, Carlos Adames is taking on Terrell Goucher. By the way, Big Turk. Let's see what he's saying.
Incredible. Have you enjoyed the night so far?
Yeah. Don't see the result. Don't follow you about the result. It's 6-0, but still 2 fights. They can draw. I know Matchroom is still not sleeping, but with Hrgovic and Wilder, you don't know.
Okay, give me your predictions then for Hrgovic.
All right, well, I'm going to listen to that later. I'll rewind it. So, anyway, Zinad Alimkhanuly is fighting this guy right here. He's supposed to be the boogeyman. Nobody wants to fight him. He has 2 belts, the IBF and the WBO. But against, as you can see, relatively weak competition. You can't really gauge him in the division. You know, he's got the amateur background. He looks like he's got the pedigree. But we don't have nothing to go off. Irislan De Lara, I don't know what the hell he's doing. I literally don't know what he's doing. You know, high price tag fighter, longtime Al Heyman fighter. Mick Zarafa, Gary O'Sullivan, Thomas Lamana, Greg Vendetti, Canelo's Balding, Widow's Peak brother, Ramon Alvarez. That's the last 5 years. That's enough right there, ill. So I don't know what he's doing. So we can see the winner. We can see Hamzah Sheeraz in his next fight against the winner of Carlos Adames and Terrell Goucher. They're fighting on June the 15th on the undercard of Tank Davis versus Frank Martin. So that's a fight to watch, even though Terrell Goucher can be dreadful sometimes. Or, you know, go into an eliminator with Alimkhanuly because he's looking for an opponent, and he's been trying to get his hands on Carlos Adames for the longest. Or Hamzah Sheeraz can be made the WBO mandatory and just go that route and just get Alimkhanuly next. So Zinad Alimkhanuly is going to be fighting next month on July the 13th, the same day as Boots Ennis taking on Cody Crowley. Well, that kind of sucks for him. But with that being said, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Where does Ammo Williams go from here? Well, back down to rebuilding. So once again, Matchroom, as it stands right now, down 0-3 with 3 fully homegrown Matchroom fighters losing. So, for example, the reason why I say homegrown is because Dmitrii Bivol, they're not really counting him in this tournament. But Daniel Dubois is a homegrown Frank Warren fighter, where Hrgovic, even though he's had a lot of fights under Hearn, he's not a homegrown fighter. Zhang has had fights under Hearn, but is not a homegrown fighter. Deontay Wilder, we've heard, is fighting for a contract with Eddie Hearn. But as far as Craig Richards, Austin Ammo Williams, and Ray Ford, Eddie Hearn brought them into the pros. So I know this must be tough seeing, you know, and all 3 were favorites, from my understanding, correct? Take your time out, like the video, subscribe. I'm TstreeT Controversy with 5U360.